Hi YouTube, Tim Wickert here. In this video, we're going to take a look at using Desmos to answer math questions on the digital SAT. Now, as you may or may not know, for the digital SAT, the calculator provided will be Desmos, and there will not be a no calculator section, meaning you can answer every question, or you can use Desmos on every question. So right here, I have a College Board sample SAT digital test. These are sample questions. I'll leave a link to that in the description. I'm going to go down to math. I'm going to answer about 7 questions using Desmos. So let's scroll on down past the reading and writing here. And we get to math, and let's take a look at question 1. So if we see here, question 1, if f of x equals x plus 7 and g of x equals 7x, what is the value of 4 times f of 2 minus g of 2? Okay, so let's first graph f of x and g of x. So f of x equals x plus 7, and g of x equals 7x. Okay, and then we'll say h of x equals 4 times f of x. We can do that. And we'll do, we have g of 2. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to unhighlight f of x here. And I can just click the color on the side to get rid of that so it doesn't confuse us. And let's zoom out a little bit. And let's also create a line, x equals 2. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take this value here, which is, or this point here, which is 236. So the y value is 36. And we'll subtract the y value of this one of g of 2, which is 14. So all we have to do is 36 minus 14. We see here we get the answer of 22. That is C, which is the correct answer. So that was a quick way of solving this problem, which might have been a lot more difficult had we had to do this algebraically. You can quickly do this with Desmos. Okay, now let's take a look at question 2. Question 2 says the y-intercept of the graph y equals negative 6x minus 32 in the xy plane is 0, y. What is the value of y? So this is basically asking us, where does this graph y equals negative 6x minus 32 cross the y-axis? So I'm going to go back to Desmos. I'm going to clear all this stuff out just by Xing this stuff out like so. And I'm going to put in y equals, and then we have negative 6x minus 32. Now you may notice that if you put in 0 for x, you just get negative 32, but you might also not notice that, right? So you can just put in this graph, and then we can go down here and find the point of intersection, which is 0, negative 32, which corresponds to 0, y. Therefore, y is negative 32. And if you look up here at the explanation, we get the key negative 32. Okay, so that was another question we could answer with Desmos. Okay, the next question I want to look at is question 4. Here we have an inequality. So we have y is less than negative 4x plus 4. And the question says, which point xy is the solution to the given inequality in the xy plane? And it gives us a bunch of points. Let's first graph the inequality. So I'm going to go here and cancel this out. So I have y is less than negative 4x, I want to say plus 4? Plus 4, yeah. Okay, and let's start to graph these points. So we have 2, negative 1. So I'm going to go to a new cell here and just do 2, negative 1. And Desmos lets us label it, so we can click the label, and we see that 2, negative 1 is here. Our next point is 2, 1. We'll click that to label that. Our next point is 0, 5. We'll click to label that. And we may want to zoom in here. Zoom in with the plus. Okay, so we see that 0, 5 is not in the shaded area. So far, none of these are in the shaded area. So that should mean that D is our solution. Let's just plot that one. So negative 4, 0. And if we label that, we see that negative 4, 0 is well into the shaded area. So in this case, our solution would be negative 4, 0, D. And if we go up here, we see that D is correct. The next one I want to take a look at is question 7. So in question 7, we have g of x equals x squared plus 55. What is the minimum value of the function? Okay, so let's go to Desmos. Let's clear all this stuff out. We can type in g of x equals x, and then we do a shift and 6 to get the exponent squared. I'm going to do the right arrow to get away from the exponent, do plus 55. Okay, now we're going to need to zoom out a bit. Okay, and as we zoom out, we can see that the minimum here is 0.055, and they are looking at the y value, which is c. Okay, so 55. And if we go down here, we see c is the correct answer. Okay, the next problem I want to look at is question 9. So in this one, we have this equation, x minus 1 squared equals negative 4. And the question is, how many distinct real solutions does the given equation have? Exactly 1, exactly 2, infinitely many, or 0. Okay, what we can treat this as is a system of equations. We could have one equation, y equals x minus 1 squared, and the other equation, y equals negative 4, and see where they intersect. So let's do that. So check. First one, y equals x minus 1 squared. Second one, y equals negative 4. Okay, and if we zoom in, oh, by the way, if I want to reset the zoom settings, I can go right here and just reset the zoom. Okay, so we see y equals negative 4 is here. Here is our parabola, y equals x minus 1 squared, and we can see that these will never intersect. So the correct solution would be D, 0. Okay, and we see D is the correct solution. Okay, the next one I want to take a look at is question 10. Which expression is equivalent to 4 over 4x minus 5 minus 1 over x plus 1? So we have 4 over 4x minus 5. I'm writing these down off camera. Over 1, or minus 1 over 1 plus x minus the fraction 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so what we need to do here is we need to first graph this first one. So I'm going to do 4 and then just the slash below the question mark to get the fraction. I'm going to do 4x minus 5. I'll do the right arrow to move out of the fraction. I'll do minus 1, that slash again to get the fraction, x plus 1. Okay, so we're going to graph all of these, and then I'm going to show you a trick. Okay, the next one, so a is 9 over x plus 1 times 4x minus 5. Okay, so let's put that one in. So 9, that slash again, and we have x plus 1 times 4x minus 5. And you may notice that they're already overlapping. So A is going to be our solution. But I'm going to just go through the rest and show you a little trick in case you didn't see that. Okay. All right, next one. We have 3 over 3x minus 6. We do 3, the slash, 3x minus 6. You can see that's not the solution. Our next one, we have 1 over x plus 1 times 4x minus 5. Okay, we can see those are not overlapping. Right? And then the final one, we have the same thing except the negative of that. So let's do negative 1 divided by x plus 1 over 4x minus 5. Okay, so now we have this big mess here. So what we can do is we can start hiding these, and we just hide them by clicking on the colors. So let's hide this one. Let's hide this one. Hide this one. And now we see we have 2 here, but we only see the blue. Okay, let's close out the blue, and you notice the red's in the same spot. If we bring back the blue, they're directly over each other. So we can tell that A is our solution. So if you didn't see that right from the beginning, when we first put in A, you can see that by eliminating each of these. And if you want to bring them back, you just click them back if you want. But that would be the way I would tackle this problem with Desmos. Okay, the last question I want to tackle is question 12. So we have in the xy plane, a line with the equation 2y equals 4.5 intersects a parabola at exactly one point. If the parabola has the equation y equals negative 4x squared plus bx, where b is a positive constant, what is the value of b? Okay, so let's get rid of this stuff. And we'll put in our equation. So we're going to say 2y equals 4.5. Okay. And then we're going to put in the next one, y equals negative 4x squared plus bx. Y equals negative 4x squared plus bx. And b has to be a positive constant. Now you notice that it gives us this option, it gives us a little warning here to add a slider for b because we haven't defined it. So let's do that. So we're going to add a slider for b, and we see it intersects the parabola at exactly one point. So let's start to move this slider. And we see that the parabola is coming closer and closer and closer. And as we get to 6, let's zoom in here. Okay, let's keep zooming in. Okay, so if we go less than 6, we go to 5.9, it's not intersecting. Go up to 6, it intersects. 6.1, it's crossing more than once. So b equals 6 is the value that's going to give us 1 point of intersection. And as you can see with the key here, that 6 is the correct answer. So that's another way that's another problem we could answer with Desmos. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you are doing the digital SAT or you have students who are doing the digital SAT, I would encourage them to thoroughly learn Desmos because that is the calculator that will be provided on the digital SAT, and it's a very powerful tool. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.